Oh man, it is a great time to be a fan of professional wrestling. Actually, let me correct myself. Now is a good time to be a fan of good professional wrestling. And if you're a fan of good professional wrestling, then you've come to the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Chris Black's NJPW Report. I am your host, the natural Chris Black of the Saturday Night SlamCasters podcast, independent professional wrestler, and everybody's favorite narcissist. Now on today's show, if this is your first time stopping by, welcome. Pull up a seat, get comfortable. I'm here to talk about Wrestle Grand Slam, brought to you by the greatest professional wrestling company on the planet, New Japan Pro Wrestling. This took place on September 4th at the Metlife Dome. This is a two-night event, and I'm going to go over both nights with you. So without further ado, let's get right into the show. In the very first match, it was actually a pre-show match. We get some of the ladies of Stardom showcasing what they can do in a tag match. So we have on one side the Queen's Quest, Saya Kamatani and Momo Watanabe taking on Lady C and Micah. I believe that's how you pronounce that name. Didn't quite catch it during the commentary. Well, this Watanabe apparently is only 21 years old. Pretty young, but these are some young battle-tested combatants, I tell you. The work here was pretty solid. They laid their shit in. I don't really know the backgrounds and the storyline history of these ladies. Like I said, I've never even watched a Stardom show unless there's been a match here and there. But I did like what I see. Micah has that explosive energy that I'm always saying that good professional wrestlers have. Watanabe's out there sporting some Ibushi style ring gear. It wasn't all great though, because some of these moves had me cringe because the stiffness behind them. And if I'm going to give this match any type of criticism, I think that it went on just a hair too long. I think a solid 8 to 10 minutes would have sufficed. Kind of seemed to drag a little bit. But in the end, Kamatani gets the victory with the Phoenix Splash. Match is over in 12 minutes and 2 seconds. So, good showing for the Stardom women. They also going to have another pre-show on night 2, and I'll get into that after I finish night 1. So, we're getting to the main card. Very first match, we have a tag team of Robbie Eagles and Tiger Mask taking on Bushi and Himuro Takahashi. Obviously, this match serves as a preview between the match of Eagles and Takahashi that's going on night 2. And these two start off the match, and it's a very fast opening sequence between these two. Takahashi and Bushi are working as the vicious heels in this match, even though they're kind of baby faces, but LIJ's been known to, break some rules every now and then. And they're pulling out some dirty tactics. Not overt cheating, but, just dirty tactics. Takahashi even at one point steals Robbie Eagles' bandana and is sporting it around the ring. Just like good heels, LIJ cut the ring in half and start to work over Tiger Mask's leg. Takahashi even uses the Ron Miller special on Tiger Mask, taunting Robbie Eagles. And again, they gave us a little bit more than a preview for their match. In my opinion, they might have done just a little bit too much, but I'm still excited to see their one-on-one match. But in the end, Robbie Eagles picks up the victory with the Ron Miller special on Bushi. Match is over in 11 minutes 40 seconds. Obviously, Takahashi wasn't going to take the fall. Obviously, Robbie Eagles wasn't going to take a fall. This isn't the company that starts with a W and ends with an E. There is no 50-50 booking here. Moving on to the next match. We have a grudge match. We have former Roppongi 3K members Sho taking on Yo. And if you've been paying attention at the Summer Struggle events, or one of the Summer Struggle events, Sho turned on Yo, beat the shit out of him after their tag team match. And you know what? I kind of saw this coming last year when everything was shut down and Yo was hurt. So Sho was kind of doing a lot of singles matches. He competed in the New Japan Cup and he was doing really, really good. So I kind of figured it was going to be the end of Roppongi 3K. Didn't expect it to end like this, but I guess this is what happened. Goddamn commentators. They foreshadowed a spoiler. I forgot which one of them said it, but they're like, oh, well, it's not like Sho joined another faction. I mean, he's still part of the Chaos team. Yeah, let's see what happens at the end of this match. Anyway, this match starts out hot. Yo, not waiting on shit. He jumps right on to Sho. After all, this is a grudge match. No lockups are needed or required. Sho throws a young lion at Yo to gain advantage of the match, and he is just relentless, just putting damage all on Yo's arm. I actually like this version of Sho, his cockiness, taunting Yo to fight back before brutalizing him some more. Sho has been dominating this match the majority of the time so far, but Yo, just like a great babyface, he's not giving up. He mounts some offense, he begins taking control, but as soon as he starts matching Sho's intensity, he gets cut right back off. As this match is going on, they call the 15-minute mark, and there hasn't been not one pin attempt so far. These guys just want to beat the hell out of each other, and they're not really concerned with actually getting the victory. They just don't want the other one to walk after this match. So again, just as Yo starts to get the upper hand, Sho does some dirty shit. This time he shoves the ref into Yo twice, taking the ref out of the match, and he goes for a chair. However, he swings and he misses. Yo catches him with the super kick, then Yo grabs the chair and is threatening to just smash his head with it, but like a true face, Yo drops the chair and hits him with the super kick again. But Yo, you're gonna learn one day. After a low blow later, Sho gets control of the chair again and just slams into his head with it. I mean, Jesus Christ, guys. Shit's so unnecessary. I find chair shots to the head now is extremely hard to watch, knowing the type of damage that it does. Headshots with chairs, so unnecessary, unless that is the absolute end of the match. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. Sho has him beat, and he pulls him up for the 2 count and throws him into a submission. I don't recognize it, but the ref has no choice but to stop the match. Yo is defenseless. Match is over in 24 minutes, 41 seconds. But it's not the end of Sho yet. He starts attacking one of the young lions who's tending to Yo and stands over him with his foot on Yo's neck. He grabs the mic, and in Japanese he says, "I told you, you need to quit," and starts to roll him out of the ring. And then out comes good old Dick Togo, Evil, and Jobber Takahashi presents Sho with a Bullet Club, a House of Torture t-shirt. Now that's interesting because I figured Sho would probably join the Bullet Club. I was hoping he wouldn't. I would have rather seen him in a team like Suzuki-gun. I think he fits Suzuki-gun a lot better, but whatever. But it seems like Evil has created his own like subgroup of the Bullet Club. Now, with Jay White being in the United States, does this make Evil the de facto leader of the Bullet Club? Or is he truly trying to split off into his own faction? I guess only time will tell. In the next match, we have Toru Yano taking on Chase Owens in a no DQ I Quit match. And this is one of the old school I Quit matches where you have to say I quit on the house microphone. And as soon as Yano comes out, and this was a shock to me, I did not see this coming. I heard it was speculated, but here it is in the flesh. Holy fuck, we get old school Violet Toru Yano. Like I said, this is my first time seeing this version, so I was already excited. Chase may actually regret calling out this version of Yano. These two get right at it, fighting in the aisle. Chase grabs a handful of powder, throws it in his face, gaining the upper hand. But Yano is not fucking around in this match. His whole vibe has changed. Chase has his attention on the knee of Yano, thinking this is how he's going to get him to submit. This match had a really stupid spot. It's where Chase Owens grabs the 2 garbage lids and claps Yano, but he obviously claps behind his head. I would have just not done the spot or just hit him with one of the garbage lids. It just looks really fake. It just looks really bad. Anyway, Chase Owens then utilizes a Texas strap, hanging Yano up by his wrist on the post, grabs a kendo stick, and starts beating the shit out of him. And woo, After last weekend, I'm reminded what kendo sticks feels like. You know, I wasn't feeling this match the way I thought I would. And the crowd obviously felt the same way I did because it seemed they were literally sitting on their hands. Not much crowd reaction. There was some, but I think they're just being respectful. This match wasn't that great. 15 minutes in, and I'm ready for them to end this match. And I was almost tempted to fast forward. Yeah, that's a first for a New Japan match for me. Chase Owens nails a package pile driver on 2 tables, which don't break, which is dangerous if anyone cares to know. That's just so dangerous. He handcuffs Yano to the barricades. This has to be the finish, I'm thinking. He takes the Texas strap and starts beating him with it, like asking him to quit, like his name is Toby. However, the wily Yano, it's his handcuffs. So obviously, he has the key, and he hid it in his wrist tape. So as Owens just totally unaware, he pulls out the key from his wrist tape, dick kicks Owens, and now he puts Owens in the handcuffs. Now in the ring, Yano beats him with the strap, sets up a table, power bombs him through the table, cuffs him to the top rope with another pair of handcuffs, and then pulls out some scissors. I guess Chase thought that he was going to try to cut his hair, so he did the ultimate insult and spit in Yano's face. Yano looks like a crazed animal, and he goes like he's going to stab him in the eye with the scissors until Chase Owens finally screams, "I quit." Well, perfect end to a not so perfect match. 28 minutes, 3 seconds. Not one of my favorites. I don't know. This just wasn't for me. After this match, we get a nice Wrestle Kingdom 16 promo celebrating the 50th anniversary. So not only are they going to have nights 1 and 2 on January 4th and 5th at the Tokyo Dome, they've now added another show on January 8th at the Yokohama Arena. So now Wrestle Kingdom's a 3-day event. Now, I don't know how I feel about this. I know that New Year's Dash normally happens a couple days after the Tokyo Dome shows, or should I say the Wrestle Kingdom show. So I don't know if this third night is going to replace the New Year's Dash show or what. But what I do know is with that forbidden door being open, there's no limit to the possibilities that we could be getting in this year's Wrestle Kingdom. They may need all 3 nights to hold that kind of stardom. But anyway, before we start the next match, Shingo Takagi comes out and joins the commentary team. In the next match, we have Okada taking on Jeff Cobb. And as the commentators reminds me, Okada holds 2 victories over Cobb in their last 2 encounters. So as of right now, Cobb is 0-2 against Okada in the last 2 encounters. This match also starts out pretty fast. These two don't need to fill out each other. Okada gets the early advantage, but Cobb with his strength just capitalizes all on Okada's back, which has always been the target for, the last couple years. Cobb seems to have Okada's number, but he hasn't been able to get a one-on-one victory against him yet. The pace of this match is slow and deliberate, but it works with these 2 styles. We got a great spot where Okada attempts a crossbody over the barricade, only to get caught and then hoisted up into a suplex and a feat of strength and taken down on the floor. Just ouch. His back, if it wasn't hurting before, is definitely hurting now. I don't think I can say too much more. I mean, these guys work really well together. Cobb is just surgical with his attack on Okada's back. There's a lot of back and forth fighting, as Okada is just really surviving these encounters with Cobb. He might have had 2 victories, but he ain't win. Jeff Cobb definitely been winning. Okada's been surviving. Okada finally nails a tombstone and then transitions into a money clip, trying to put him away. Cobb gets out, mocks Okada with the tombstone, and then does the Okada pose. Then he sets him up with the ripcord tour of the island, but Okada escapes. In the end, though, they climb to the top rope, and he delivers a tour of the islands off the top rope, and then one more just for good measures when he's in the ring, and he gets the pin on Okada. It's 27 minutes, 41 seconds. This match was amazing. I enjoyed it, as I usually enjoy matches between their two. They're usually very brutal, hard fought, and it's like a a chess game. Each guy is trying to outsmart the other and try to think a few moves ahead. This is definitely a big win for Cobb heading into the G1, which starts September 18th, so a couple days. In the main event of night one, we have Tanahashi taking on Abushi for the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship. Now it's odd not only just seeing Ibushi challenge for the US title, but to have Tanahashi defend it, but I guess it's no different than Jay White with the Never Openweight Championships. This match is face versus face, which is usually hard to pull off. Again, maybe if you're, name your company starts with a W, ends with an E, it's probably damn near impossible to pull off a good face versus face match in today's world. Nice opening sequence with some technical wrestling. Tanahashi does what Tanahashi does and goes after the legs, which is Ibushi's equalizer. I don't really expect these two to slug it out, although they did exchange some vicious strikes. There was a small botch during this move where Tanahashi slipped off of a sling blade. They just did it again. It's a fairly short match. Ibushi gets defeated by a high fly flow in 17 minutes and 47 seconds. So that will do it for night one. Let's get into night two. Sorry if it seems like I'm just flying through this, but I honestly should have put this review up like days ago. So I was going to do 2 separate episodes, but fuck it. I'm late. I'm uploading it late. I'm doing it for you guys. And by the way, show your appreciation, especially if you're this far in the show. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But anyway, let's get into night two. All right, we start out again with the pre-show Stardom tag match. We have Donna Del Mundo. I don't want to butcher these girls' names, but Surya and Julia, sorry ladies, against Queen's Quest, Saya Kamatani and Momo Watanabe. Very interesting entrance by the Goddess Tag Team Championships, Donna Del Mundo. I like it. It's very theatric. 5 minutes into this match, and I like this match better than yesterday's. It's fast-paced. The moves are more crisp. It's a very good match. If you haven't seen it, make time to go back and watch that match. These women are just going at it. The champs win via submission in 11 minutes, 31 seconds. Excellent tag team match. I just don't know if I can get into Stardom like as a whole promotion. The matches here and there are great. Maybe if I actually got into it, I'd like it more, but I like what I see thus far. But not enough to seek out the shows and watch them individually. Anyway, next match, we have Ishii and Okada taking on United Empire members, the Great Okan and Jeff Cobb. In the beginning of this match, Ishii starts showing off some of his mat wrestling skills against Okan. Looking pretty good. Okada tags in and goes right after Cobb, who's still on the apron, which in the end backfired because Okada's neck, shoulder area is taped. Might as well have a bullseye on that bad boy. When Okan first came into New Japan Pro Wrestling, if you've been listening to me long enough, you've heard me. I heavily criticized him. But I've grown to like his work. When you break down these two different teams, there's some ramifications for the G1 Climax tournament because in the A block, you have Ishii and Khan. And in the B block, you have Cobb and Okada. So these guys are destined to face each other again. So we get another Okada and Cobb match. We get another Ishii versus the Great Okan. So I'm happy. I cannot wait till the G1 Climax starts. Let's get back to this match. The United Empire is just so dominant working together. We may have a future tag team title run between these guys. Maybe they should win World Tag League. And I'm 100% in favor of that. So, anyway, speaking of being dominant, Khan puts Ishii away with the Dominator after a very dominant match. The United Empire was in control for the majority of the match, so again, there's no surprise. These guys work very well together. Match ends in 12 minutes, 45 seconds. And apparently the United Empire will be expanding because Will Ospreay will be debuting a new member at the Autumn Attack later this month. Next, we have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match. We have Suzuki-gun, Kanemaru, and El Desperado taking on defending champions from Bullet Club, Ishimori and ELP. Ishimori comes out sporting some brand new entrance gear, kind of matching ELP swag. I think I like the Shredder helmet better, but whatever, bro. if it works for you, it doesn't look bad, but not my favorite. The commentators are still putting over this loaded boot of ELP. Apparently, he's got a gimmick in it, so the world's greatest super kick, or however he puts it, lays motherfuckers out because obviously there's something in the boot. All right, so heel versus heel match. Again, New Japan pulls these off perfectly. That company, start with a W, ends with an E. No way they can pull off a good heel versus heel match because they're the shits. So we get lots of dirty tactics in this match. Early on, they start softening up ELP's leg for the numero dos submission. Ishimori, he really wasn't involved during the early stages of the match. But we get lots of tag shenanigans once Bullet Club does gain control. They do their jokey joke back rake spot, the Tree of Woe nut stomp. So, I don't know, it's a good match as far as tag matches go, but I'm just not that into it. Maybe it's because I've seen them feud over these titles a little bit too much, or maybe just the goofy heel shit doesn't really work for me in this type of match. ELP and Ishimori should not be just some goofs. They need to be just some killers. Double submissions, camel clutch, and a numero dos to Bullet Club, but they get to the rope and they have to break the holds. ELP hits a Pinche Loco on El Desperado for a very close 2 count. Then ELP tries taking off the loaded boot and use it, but it was taken by El Desperado, who puts it on his hand and then punches ELP, and he starts selling the hand like the hardest thing in the world is in that boot. Well, his wrestling shoe, not really a boot. Nails the Pinche Loco for the win in 20 minutes, 28 seconds, and he sells the hand he grabs the ice and puts it on his hand post-match. And like I said, maybe I'm not interested in this match as much because they've been trading these titles back and forth a couple times now. I think we need some more contenders for the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, but, they just broke up Roppongi 3K and, COVID. So I'd like to see more teams vie for those titles, but until the world gets back to whatever normal is going to be, it is what it is. All right, next match, we have a triple threat IWGP World Tag Team Championship match. I don't think I've seen a triple threat tag match in New Japan. Apparently, the commentator said the last one was back in 2019 at Wrestle Kingdom. I'd have to go back and check on that. But yeah, they normally don't do gimmick matches like this. So guess what? When you don't do it every single week, it is special. I enjoyed it. So by the way, Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi, defending champions, taking on LIJ members Naito and Sanada, and Chaos Team members Goto and Yoshihashi. So they still got the 6-man never open weight titles. So good for them. They've held that for over a year, I think. Although again, not much competition in that area either. Anyway, it's not about their titles. It's about the IWGP World Tag Team titles. So Goto and Yoshi comes out first, and I want y'all to start putting some respect on Yoshihashi name. Stop calling him a jobber. The man does good work. Naito comes out just looking pimp-tastic in his maroon suit. He's followed out by Sanada. Zack Sabre Jr. came out by himself, and I thought he learned not to do that shit after G.O.D. just started beating the hell out of him. First time he came out without Taichi. But then Taichi music hits, and again, I can't skip that song. And Miho Abe is back, escorting Taichi to the ring, and Jesus, that woman is fine. So we get a duet with Naito as Taichi shares the mic with him for a bit. So we get a little bit of ha-ha. Naito's a little funny man before the match. Big schmaz at the start, as they can't agree on which two should start the match. 2 men in the ring at a time, so the champions don't really have to be part of the decision in order to lose their titles. So we get a lot of double team offense by each team getting in some time to shine. But then once the ref gets things under control, Taichi and Goto go at it. We get the choke spot on Taichi where everyone's choking Taichi. Everyone comes in and tries to get some. LIJ tries to form an alliance with Goto and Yoshi, but they're not having any of that. and they get denied, so they get beat down. Taichi gets punished by both of the other teams. Zack Sabre Jr. not really seeing much action in the beginning, but when he finally does get the tag, he comes out like a house of fire. Zack finally comes in and starts dishing out some punishment of his own, countering every attack that came his way. LIJ begins to pick up the pace, double teaming Zack Sabre Jr., and then everyone takes turns hitting moves until all 6 are down, so kind of what we call a waterfall spot. This match has turned into a tornado tag type match at certain points, and the ref is just allowing it to go on. Chaos and LIJ is the legal men in the ring. Yoshi and Sanada. 20 minutes in, Goto takes out the dangerous Tekkers, who may lose these belts without actually losing the match. They're doing a good job keeping the Tekkers from tagging. Sanada has Yoshi pretty much beat, goes for the moonsault, but Taichi quickly tags him. And after taking out the rest of the competition, Taichi delivers a Black Mephisto to Yoshi for the win in 26 minutes, 43 seconds. Very good match. It actually could have become a clusterfuck, but they kept it under control without losing the flow of the match. So good job for all of those guys. All right, semi-main event. We have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Robbie Eagles defending against the man who dropped the title because of injury, Himuro Takahashi. Robbie Eagles has not been pinned since December 11th, 2020. Very nice opening sequence between these two. Again, very fast paced. They're going move for move. Everything that you love about these types of matches. But however, Eagle slows the pace down once he gets control of the match. Of course, he wants to dictate the pace and keep Himuro grounded. But as soon as Takahashi begins to build momentum, Eagle has to cut him off and slow things back down. Again, heel-like, but not heel because he's not cheating. Takahashi hits a sunset bomb from the apron to the outside with a sickening thud. Takahashi now is finally back in control of the match and not just taking punishment, he's mounting some offense to try to finish off Eagles. But he's not going to go out like that. They fight up to the top of the ropes and Eagle lands a top rope turbo backpack for only a 2 count. Then he follows it up with a 450 splash right on Takahashi's leg, locks in the Ron Miller special. Takahashi is flailing about, but Eagles is keeping him in the center of the ring. And Takahashi, surprisingly, he has no choice, and he taps out in 24 minutes, 7 seconds. I am so glad they didn't have Himuro win just because he relinquished the title without being beat. Again, doesn't do it like, I'm going to stop burying that company, starts with a W, ends with an E. But they wouldn't have done this right. But at the end of the match, here comes El Desperado, and he cuts a promo telling Eagles, hey, don't forget about me. And he challenges him to a match in the future, and he's even going to put the junior tag belt on the line. How? I'm going to need further clarification on that. All right, and in our main event, we have Shingo Takagi taking on Evil. I think Evil is in for some big changes in the upcoming future with his Bullet Club, his offshoot group. I'm actually digging this new dragon mask that Shingo's rocking on the way to the ring. And I know there's going to be hella cheating from Dick, every dirty trick in the book by Evil, and a hard-hitting offense by Shingo. Former LIJ brothers, they're going to war. Here comes Sho. He's out as well with Dick Togo. And there's Takahashi. You know what's going to happen. So Evil tries to steal the upper hand, but Shingo is overpowering him. I start losing interest in the match when there's just way too much interference on the outside. Sho, Yujiro, Dick. Evil does that table spot not once, but twice. Goes for the chairs and wraps it around his head. Swings for the fences. Boom. Oh, ouch, ouch. Again, don't know how he does that safely. But with all the members on the outside, this is basically a 4-on-1 match. Like, no bullshit. Let's not play around. It's 4-on-1. Shingo constantly has to fend off of Evil and then fight off the interference. It's the whole story so far in this match, which I hate because when Evil loses, and spoiler, he lost, it makes his group look weak and incompetent and especially evil. So, and why the hell isn't LIJ out here watching his back? But Shingo, whatever, they're putting him over. He's a powerhouse. His strikes are hard and is the equalizer. Shingo sets up the evil table spot. This was actually kind of funny. He sits Evil and Dick Togo at the table, and he takes Takahashi and Sho and rams them into the barricade, knocking over the table. You know, evil spot, but all four of them goes down, so I like it. Red Shoes has enough, kicks them out of the arena. It's about fucking time. We hit the 15-minute mark, and now we can actually get to an actual wrestling match. Typical Evil shenanigans, pushing the ref in the way, using the magic killer with the ref. Evil's heel shtick. Dick comes back out because he's a dick. Red Shoes at first doesn't acknowledge him being there, and here comes the bullshit. Dick jumps on the ring apron. Shingo avoids, and everything is evil. Hits him made in Japan. But then Dick pulls the ref out before the 3 count. Goes after Shingo, who does get the upper hand. Then here comes Jobber Takahashi, hitting him with the cane, getting the ref. Again, only a 2 count. Dick attacks once again. And finally, Bushi runs out to help. But Sho is now out. Chair shot to Shingo's head. Fuck, dude. My God. Again with the chair shots. Now, finally, that brings out Naito and Sanada. So we get some belt shenanigans. Shingo teases he's going to use it. But if he's disqualified, he will also lose the title. Oh, in case you didn't know, in New Japan, if you get counted out or you're disqualified and you're the champion, you lose the title. I kind of like that because it takes away the champion's advantage. But all right, as we hit the 30-minute mark, Shingo nails Evil with the Last of the Dragon for the win. Match is called 30 minutes and 20 seconds. Woo! So that is going to be it as far as the review of nights 1 and 2 of the Wrestle Grand Slam. Again, 2 exciting nights of action. Before I close this show out, I want to remind you, this is the place to be for the G1 Climax coverage. I promise you, I'm not going to wait to the last minute to post my reviews. I'm going to try to get them up as soon as possible. I don't even wait for the English commentary. I don't need the English commentary because I love New Japan. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in for another edition of Chris Black's NJPW Report. If you've enjoyed the show and are looking forward to my coverage of the G1 Climax, by all means, take a second right now, chop that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you are notified every single time I upload new videos. My goal for the end of this G1 Climax tournament is to have 100 subscribers. That is my goal. And the only way I'm going to reach that goal is if you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tell all your other New Japan heads, hey, there's this guy named Chris Black and he covers New Japan and he's wonderful, he's great, he's the narcissist, we love him. Anyway, if you're looking to follow me, you can find me on all social media. In the description, there are links to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter pages, as well as a link to the Saturday Night SlamCasters podcast, the Saturday Night SlamCasters YouTube page, Facebook page, and Facebook group. Once again, I want to thank you. I know this video is running really, really long, so I appreciate it if you've survived all the way to the end. And I will see you in a couple days. I'm going to be dropping a preview of my G1 Climax predictions. So hopefully that's not going to be too long because with a tournament that big, I can't do in-depth predictions. It's pretty much who I think is going to win each block and then who's going to go on to the finals. But until next time, thanks for tuning in. Come get slammed.